You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, January 21st, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on January 22nd, 2019.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938. Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, January 7th, 2019. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
May God bless America.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being here today, and I just want to take a little bit of time to wish everybody a happy new year, and especially we got a lot of people that are our partners and want to make sure that we include everyone that we have, especially our county employees, our partners, UMC, Children's Hospital, El Paso Health, Emergence, and all the elected officials that we have, and their employees, and especially the members of the judiciary. They're all part of our team of trying to do something for our community. So I wish you all the best in your families and all your endeavors going forward. Pretty excited to be here today and be part of Commissioners Court, and very thankful that we have our commissioners here and another new person like myself, Commissioner Robinson. So pretty exciting time. I think this is a great time to be an El Pasoan. I don't think there's a better time for us to make that pivotal move that we've been thinking about for a long time for our county. So very excited to do that. Finally, I want to acknowledge my sister-in-law, sort of at my first day. I dedicate this day to her. She passed away suddenly and unexpectedly about a week before the primary election. A very special lady for me and my brother Sal, her husband, and so just want to acknowledge her. Very important part of my life, and want to start off by making her important as well. I know she wanted to be here. I think she now has the best seat in the House, probably better than ours. So I'm glad for that. So I just want to, moving forward, we're going to the consent agenda. Just want to know if there's any items, either by the public or commissioners, that want to pull out any consent item in the agenda.
Judge, I would.
I'll go ahead and take that motion. Item number 3 is a consent agenda composed of items 3A through 3V. IT department is requesting to postpone item 3M for 1 week. Were there any other items that the members of the court or the public would like to pull for individual discussion?
Yes, I'd like to pull item C as in cat and item X.
And Judge, if I may pull item E, J, and R.
And Commissioner Leon, you said item C and X?
Correct.
There is no X.
There's no X. Let me take a look at it. I had seen it before the final agenda came out. Can we go ahead and postpone that just for a second while I go back and see what the item number is? Now, when it was the pre-agenda, what did it transfer to, Betsy? Do you know? No, no. Let's go ahead and just disregard that, and if and when I find that in the new agenda, I'll go ahead and read it out. Okay, so let's just go ahead and disregard
Okay, so
that.
I'd like to make a move to approve the consent agenda other than the items that have been pulled out.
Second?
And just to verify, that will be items C, E, J, R, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, is there a second?
I seconded it.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout? Commissioner Robinson? Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 4, resolutions. Approve and adopt a resolution supporting the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Food Drive in El Paso County, Texas. Go ahead.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to read the resolution. Is there, well, I shouldn't have to ask the question. Is there anyone there? Yeah, I know some people here for the MLK Food Drive. Would you guys come up? El Paso County resolution. Whereas Americans pause for, excuse me, take my glasses off. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose passion for people to right to, I'm sorry. Whereas El Pasoans choose to honor Dr. Martin Luther King for the many achievements he made for our nation. Through goodwill and understanding, to made in every form of life work to achieve his dream. Whereas this remembrance includes a food drive that we conducted from January 7th, 2019 to January 21st, 2019. And the food collected will be distributed to shelters here in the community of El Paso. Whereas the El Paso County, desires to participate in the food drive for Martin Luther King, now therefore be proclaimed, or resolved, that the County of El Paso will approve this resolution for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Food Drive, signed, do I read this?
Sign this date.
Okay. Signed this date, January 7th, 2019, signed by Carlos Leon, Commissioner Precinct 1, Commissioner David Stout, Precinct 2. I'll get it in a minute. Commissioner Pettis, and myself, Carl Robinson, and our new county judge, Judge Samaniego.
Second?
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Before, Ms. White, you are the leader of the group. Would you say a few words?
Honorable Judge Samaniego and Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Patricia White, and on behalf of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Food Drive, I would like to thank you very much for this resolution and recognition. This year marks 19 years since the establishment of the Dr. King Food Drive, in which we honor Dr. King's legacy through acts of kindness and service to others. The collection of non-perishable food items will be donated to 10 worthy organizations that help the homeless, children, and families in need. During the past 19 years, we have collected and donated over 311 tons of food that has helped to replenish their pantries after the holidays. Our food drive begins today, as Commissioner Robinson noted, and it culminates on Monday, January 21st, which is the Dr. King holiday. Collection bins, as you see an example here, for non-perishable food items are located at the Vista Quality Markets, at the Sam's on Gateway North, all public libraries, here at the County Courthouse, the Juvenile Justice Center, and the Sheriff's Office. Anyone wanting to donate and can drop off canned goods at any of these locations or bring them to our warehouse, which is located at 4922 Hondo Pass, by 10 a.m. on the Dr. King holiday. We also have two other ladies here who would like to introduce themselves, and one of our agencies who's also a recipient of our canned food drive.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Judge. Welcome.
Good morning.
I want to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Ashley. I represent the El Paso Coalition for the Homeless, and we are the umbrella agency for all the homeless service providers here in El Paso County. And so on any given night, there are roughly 876 individuals. This includes veterans, families, children, and youth who are homeless. And so by dedicating and recognizing that for these next 2 weeks will be the food drive and under the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. legacy, I want to say thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sierra Ulibarri. I'm the interim director of the YWCA homeless programs. And I just want to let you all know, thank you so much for donating. The donation does help us to replenish our pantries. Once we have move-ins, we have constant move-ins in our transitional living center and in our rapid rehousing programs. So the drive does help us to replenish our families with food, especially after the holidays. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to apologize to all of you here and listening. I've been nervous twice in my life. And I don't get nervous. I was nervous in my swearing in, and then I get nervous today. But I promise you I won't be nervous anymore.
You've got some company here, okay? Any comments?
Don't go. Let me, Judge, Commissioners, Ms. White is one of the founding members of the committee, along with myself. We started this project back in 2001. And how it came about was we received a letter, I would just say, from the Martin Luther King Foundation, and they were asking cities across the nation to do a project in the name of Martin Luther King as an act of kindness. Initially, there was about 50 of us met at City Hall, and we came with the idea to do a food drive. And the food drive, over the years, we've collected, I think we've averaged about 16 tons, Ms. Pat, of food. And all the food goes to homeless shelters in our community. There's no overhead. It's all volunteer. So if anyone wants to donate some money, we have received donations of money in the past, and what we do, we take that, turn that money around and buy food that goes to shelters. We've been supporting like 11 shelters here in the community of El Paso. We brought some canned goods for everybody, so we're going to have a judge, if you will allow us, to do a little ceremony to drop the cans in the bucket.
Absolutely.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, by the end of the day, I'll make sure, I want this to fill up. Make sure.
Judge, Commissioners, the item that I was seeking a while ago is item B. If I can make a motion to bring that item back and pull it from consent. It was earlier approved, so Christina, do we have to delete, or which way do we go?
Move to reconsider.
We have to reconsider item number B, so if you want to go ahead and do that at this time.
I make that motion.
Okay.
Second?
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And so there should be a separate motion to,
So right now, since there's other items that are taken from consent, Judge, you can either take the items from consent right now or go ahead and move on to the next item, which is the presentation, and then after it.
Public comment.
Yeah, I'd like to move to public comment
Okay.
and then
Go
put those items after that.
Item number 5, public comment.
We do have a person from the audience, Pierre Andre Usuaraga. Please come forward.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to everyone. It's good to see everyone again. I'm here today to officially announce my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America. I've been coming up here for 5 years, and I want to say that I think our political system is outdated and inundated. How many Democrats do we have? Ooh. How many Republicans? Ooh. It's about unification. Where President Trump, for instance, is not the president of the country, ladies and gentlemen. He is the president of the Republican Party. If a Democrat was in the White House today, he or she would not be the president of the country, of the United States of America. He or she would be the president of the Democratic Party. And one of the reasons why I'm running for the presidency is to unify our political system. One of the first things I will do is I'm going to enact the American Political Party Act, which abolishes the Democrats, the GOP, and the DNC. And what I want to do is streamline the powers so that the president in the White House is the actual president of the country, because the party runs the country and the country and the party are unison. That makes sense. Now, it may be a new idea, but I know we've been entertaining it for these past few weeks. It makes sense. And if we don't listen to what I'm saying, we're going to be in for a hard time economically, socially, politically, because some of the things that I've seen with this bilateral system is just devastating. It's just constant fighting. Maybe not today, where I think we're all Democrats here. I'm not a Democrat. I don't claim Democrat. I have voted Democracy in the past. I voted Republicans in the past. But now I'm an American. Every time I come up here, I speak as an American. Congress is fed up. They're divided. I know well, I have the experience, and I know some of us have sat down and we've spoken, and I know there's a mutual understanding. I'm just trying to unify people, ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of the country, for the sake of our families, for the sake of our belief, our God, our values. The other thing I plan on doing as President of the United States of America, as 46th President, is I want to legalize the Cannabis and Psychoorganics Act. I know we legalized the Farm Bill, but that's kind of half act. And I understand there's no experienced consumers in the government. There's no politicians with experience. I'm one of a kind. I'm the one and only. I am Hispanic. I think we need to have more Hispanics in government, locally, county, state, federal, what have you. I'm a single dad, so I know a lot of candidates are married and what have you. I think my unorthodoxy is an asset. And a lot of the issues can be resolved with some new blood. But I need help. I've asked for people to run with me as a vice president. I'm still waiting on some responses. I need a vice chair. I need a treasurer. There's a lot of positions that I have to fill. I'm hoping the GOP and the DNC can come down, sit down, and we can work this stuff out. I'm dead serious. I'm American by Mexican descent, which means I'm a Chicano. Each of those three words, ladies and gentlemen, have I-C-A-N. I can. American, I can. Mexican, I can. Chicano, I can. I'm 3 times able, 3 times capable of successfully venturing into the White House and honorably leaving the White House. I know I could do it. I come up with great formulas that the people love, that the government appreciates and respects. We have countries who look to us. You look at Asia, Russia, Europe. They all want to be part of the Western Party. They all want to be. They all want to become part of the Western spirit. And we need to remember the Mexican-American War, because Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, Nevada, this was all Mexico at one time. And with all due respect, Black America and White America have been fighting too long. That has to stop. We need to just kick back and enjoy ourselves. Get to work like we're doing. And I know my time is up, so I'm going to go ahead and close. I'm going to respect my 5 minutes. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we can reach out. I hope I have my cell phone, the GOP and the DNC. You know where I'm at. Please reach out. And we'll see you next time. God bless America, one nation under God. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Usada. Well, that concludes our public comments at this time. Jessica?
Item 6A, presentation. Present certificate of appreciation to Ethics Commissioner Jose Limon for his time and service on the El Paso County Ethics Commission from April 15, 2013 through January 31st, 2019.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm very honored. Mr. Limon, could you just stand by the podium? And I know that your lovely wife, former city representative Lily Limon, is also here. Ms. Limon, you want to join your husband at the podium? And I've got to say, Joe, in this world of me, this world of my circle, this world of it benefits me, and when we have a volunteer of your caliber, giving up your personal time, your family time, to be with the county board, assisting on the very important Ethics Commission, and you've been at it since 2013. It was quite an honor for me, for you to accept my appointment of you. You've done a terrific job, and I do have a small plaque for you with gratitude for your commitment to serving and being a member of the Ethics Commission. The understanding and the support you brought to the commission as commissioner was exemplary. So on behalf of myself, and I'm sure this Commissioner's Court, I thank you, and I thank you, Mrs. Limon, for being so patient and giving up your husband for all that time, because it takes a lot of time to do the job and do it right. So on behalf of the county, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to serve, Commissioner Leon. When you first offered me the opportunity, I was hesitant, I have to admit, because I always thought, based on past experience, that ethics in the county were an oxymoron. But I was proven wrong. And thankfully, I was proven wrong. It was a great 5 years. During that time, we had very few issues come up. I had great support from the HR team in the county. So I was happy to serve and want to be thankful to you for giving me the opportunity to continue to serve our community. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Well, I'd like to thank you individually and as a couple. And you, both of you, are the epitome of a community and what it takes to make the community that we want for our county. So I really thank you, and I'm very fortunate to have gotten to meet you both in the last couple of 6 months or so, or maybe 18 months. I don't know, it went by so fast, but I thank you so much for your service. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mr. Limon has been a servant for the community, over 30 years of civil service at Fort Bliss. But he also served, in fact, we served together on the United Way Allocation Committee. So Joe has been involved in this community, our community, and all Joe has done has been honorable. And Joe, I appreciate you, everything you do, but I will tell you, you're not done yet. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Carl.
You don't know how, but you're not done yet. Thank you.
You talked about plaque, and I was keeping
Item number 7, board appointments. Approve the reappointment of Commissioner David Stout's appointee, Christopher Benoit, to the Ethics Commission for the term beginning February 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2021.
Judge, Commissioners, I place this item on the agenda. Commissioner Stout asked that we consider the reappointment of Mr. Benoit, and he has completed the required trainings, and the certificates have been submitted to our office. So we'd ask that you approve his reappointment to the Ethics Commission for the next term.
Motion approved. Second?
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8, approve the reappointment of Commissioner Carlos Leon's appointee, Mark Dunham, to the El Paso County Veterans Advisory Board for a second 2-year term beginning December 1st, 2018 through November 30th, 2020.
Judge, Commissioners, Mr. Dunham is interested in being reappointed, and Commissioner Leon has asked that we place this item on. He has completed the required trainings, and so we would ask for your consideration of his reappointment for the next term.
He's been serving since January 30th of 2017. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Judge, would you like to go back to the items pulled from the consent agenda?
Yes, I would.
Item 3B from the consent agenda. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the fiscal year 2018 through 2019 Community Development Block Grant Homebound Meal 44th Year Program Funding Grant Agreement in the amount of $43,396 for a 1-year term from September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019. Contract number 2018-0737.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, the reason I pulled this, and thank you, Irene, for being here this morning, I was looking at the start time, which is September 1st, 2018, and from my conversation with you, Irene, I understand that this grant has been held up, but it was received by the city sometime in September, And here we are in January approving something that's going to be retroactive to September 1st. So it was a little disturbing for me. And you have more information of why these delays took place.
Correct, sir. Good morning, County Commissioners, County Judge Irene Valenzuela, Community Services Department. The city's approval process for these funding agreements is quite lengthy. They get these funds through their HUD entitlement program, and so they put together committees to issue a request for proposal, and then they receive the proposals. Once they select the final recipients, they start drafting funding agreements for all the recipients. We're one of them. The county is one of them under one of their categories for our nutrition program. And so then they began drafting funding agreements. We didn't get a funding agreement from the city until November. And so for that reason, this contract's a little bit late. We did submit it for our county attorney review. They gave a timely review. There were some modifications that needed to be made to that contract from the city. It was returned. The city returned it during the holidays. And so once it was final, we went ahead and put it on the Commissioner's Court agenda for today.
And Irene, thank you for explaining it, but I still find it a little concerning because we have over 30 recipients of these meals that I think it's 32 that we have, 32, 33?
33 under this contract.
Yeah, which are needed. And I know that the county will step in, fill in the difference until we receive those funds. But it's very hard for us to approve something September 1st of 2018. Here we are in January. So having heard what you said, thank you for taking the time and explaining it to us. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3C, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the contract service agreement with Lance Long participating in the Border Prosecution Unit Initiative for fiscal year 19, grant number 2283709 from December 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019. Contract number 2018-0911.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Judge.
Good morning.
Congratulations. You all pulled it, so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
No, again, I apologize for that. When I read the agenda, it was the pre-agenda, and the item C that I was looking at was the elections. It was not your item.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
But we enjoy having you here.
Oh, well, thank you. I would tell you does give me the opportunity to brag on this BPU grant. This is not paid by county funds, it's state funds. It's border prosecutors from El Paso all the way to Brownsville. And this grant, this particular contract is just one of the many contractors we use for training purposes. And he teaches on 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment issues to prosecutors and to law enforcement up and down the county. And one of the beauties of the BPU grant, besides the fact that it subsidizes prosecutors, it helps prosecutors, that additional resource is helpful, but we also spend a good amount of our money training law enforcement in areas where they would not get training except for this border prosecution grant. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to brag about that. So.
Well, thank you.
Judge. Mr. DA, are you receiving these funds through the COG?
Do not. We receive these directly from the governor's office. This is I am the project director, so we get the bulk of the money, but there are 17 other elected prosecutors who are part of the grant, and each one of them we apply through the governor's office.
Are you receiving any funds through the COG?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I received my VOCA and my VAWA grant through them. We have to go through them in order to get approval and make our request for monies through the year.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, the item that I'm looking at is item E, and I'm going to have to indulge you again if we can pull that.
I pulled that item.
You pulled that already? Okay, good.
Item 3E, approve and authorize the early voting stations and election day polling places for the State Representative District 79 Special Election to be held on January 29, 2019.
Thanks. Well, I guess we both wanted this item pulled.
Sure.
You know, it's such an important election, and it came up so quickly. And so today, you know, for members of the public and the media that are here, I just wanted to pull this item and then just ask, you know, generally, are there any voting sites that are new or that the public should be aware of? Are they typically the same voting sites? What are the hours of operation so the public is aware?
Sure. So Lisa Wise, El Paso County Elections Administrator. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. The sites, the early voting sites are the ones we've used previously. How we generally do it is any of them that sit inside that district, we start with those, and then we make sure that there's not any area that's underserved. So we will put them up. We were going to put them up on our site Friday, but we wanted to wait till they were approved here on Monday. And so the early voting sites are the same. The election day sites are the same with the 7 to 7 on election day. The early voting schedule will have a Saturday 12 to 5. It will, however, not have a Sunday nor MLK Day the following Monday because of those buildings being closed. But otherwise, they're the sites that our voters are familiar with that live in that district.
Commissioner, I had the same, I wanted to bring this to the public's eye. And over and above that, I have some questions. I know we've discussed it before, Lisa. Out of the 28 sites, 23 are schools. I didn't notice any fire department locations. And I'm concerned, as we've spoken before, about having these elections in school. Are we making any kind of inroads in getting away from schools?
Well, we're hoping to look at possibly going to vote centers. We've kind of talked about that several times for November of 2019, which would normally start with us pulling from schools as our first priority, elementary schools at least. They are talking about, and we have our annual TAEA, Texas Election Administrator Conference this week. We actually leave tomorrow for Georgetown, where we're gonna have a session with the attorney from the Texas State Board of Education talking about what steps could be taken to get the election day a school holiday. So there's a couple different things happening. We still do have a plan to pull from as many elementary schools as possible if we decide to go into tri-vote centers in November because of safety concerns, because of parking concerns. There's several concerns there. And we're still looking to do that as soon as we can, which the vote center next election would be November 19.
And the other question was, why did we not use some of our fire department locations for this?
For this election, if they served a precinct that was in State Rep 79, we did use them. So those have been used. Now in November and past elections, we have pulled from a couple different fire stations for a couple of reasons. One is we had some that the bay was the only access we could get. And so our poll workers had no access to heat or air conditioning. We also had some where they had to go through the barracks of the fire station, and that was becoming an issue. We also had issues with voters complaining about zero parking. I don't know if you've ever visited a fire station, but we weren't even able to get 1 or 2 spots allotted. So for this election, we used the exact same precinct polling sites that we did before that fell within State Rep 79. We will use that. And the same early voting sites. None of those were changed.
Well, thank you very much. I always tell Betsy that if I've got a question, you've got the answer. So,
well, I try to.
Thank you for that.
Just have a question. Not that it overrides safety or parking, as you mentioned, but is there a cost differential by moving away from the schools?
Not really, because we don't pay for use of any of our election day buildings. So right now there's not. If we do look at going to vote centers, which we are talking about going in November, things like we can pay things like utilities. We cannot pay to use space, but we can pay for the stuff that we would use. So, for example, we use Bassett, one of our biggest voting centers. We don't pay to rent the bay there, but we do pay for the electricity we use for 2 weeks. We do pay for any water or what our share of that is. The law does allow that. But when we do look at going to vote centers, all of that will be in the program that we look at. The proposal of, do we have the money to do this, is something we want to do, that we want to do. If they would move to doing something where the holiday election day would be a holiday, obviously then we could still use those buildings. But it's kind of on the fence now on which way that will go.
Okay, I'd like to see if have the opportunity.
That will all be presented for sure before we ever move forward on
thank you.
On the vote centers.
Thank you.
Judge. I have a question.
Sure.
I hope that by changing some of the locations, that we're not making it more difficult for people to go out and vote. We want to make sure that we do everything to encourage people to go out and vote. You know, I believe our numbers this past election did go up. And we want to keep that trend going up as opposed to going down, particularly when you talk about the elderly who have challenges getting to polling places. You talk about parking in some of the locations is a challenge. Some people have issues with transportation to get to the location. The schools are ideal locations, not necessarily the best locations all the time, but when you talk about the neighborhood, the school is in the neighborhood. So I'm going to go to, like in my neighborhood, let's see, 2 blocks, I go vote. But if you change the location, I'm still going to go vote, but some people may not go vote because you changed my location. Now I got to go 5 blocks, 10 blocks, whatever. I don't have transportation. I've got to ride the bus. I've got to bum a ride. So in this process, make sure we look at those aspects of it and don't make it more of a challenge for people to go vote.
Sure, and when we're currently actually working on the methodology for site selection to go to vote centers, which would mean that a voter could vote anywhere. Even though I know there are people who like to vote on election day at their precinct, they still would be able to on election day vote anywhere, by their work, by their child's school if they go to a different school. But we will be looking at turnout at those locations. We're not trying to make it any harder for anybody. The whole point of the vote centers is to make it actually more accessible for voters to be able to, like during early voting, go anywhere. But we have already talked about not closing or not using sites at maybe the minimum, and instead of going down to 100, maybe we only close 20 and make those vote centers. And we will look at the turnout. We will look at the demographics. We also look at transportation options when we do those selections. So there is a long process, and the court will be involved in every step of that. And that will start probably here. We would have liked to start maybe in like a week or two, but because of this election, it's looking more like it'll probably be end of February when we start the actual process. But you'll be kept in on every step of that.
Also, during this past election, had some concerns expressed by some of our constituents as far as issue they had when they went to the polling place to vote. One is their ID. In some instances, it was an issue. If a person has an ID, what ID are they required to present?
Okay, the state requires there's seven acceptable forms of ID, which would be the list A. The most used one is the driver's license, but they can also use a state ID, a military ID with picture, a conceal and carry license. If they have one of those, then they can vote. If they don't, they can pull something from the passport's also an option. They can pull something from list B and then fill out a reasonable declaration. So like a bill, if they don't have an ID, a utility bill, and then they just fill something out that says why they weren't able to get an ID. So those are options. Those are available on our website, and that's taken directly from the state code. So our office doesn't make office policy on ID. That's done at the state level.
All right. One last thing. If I live at this location, well, use myself as an example. My current location where I live, I've lived there for years. So Commissioner Leon donates me some money, and I go buy me a new house. I'm just joking. So I buy a new house. So my ID and my voter registration card shows that the old location. But I go to vote. This says, no, you're not on my list. So then, what provisions do you make for that?
So there's a couple things. One is the address on your driver's license does not need to match your current residence. But when you do go to vote, you will need, if you do move, you do need to update your registration. So your voter registration needs to reflect where you reside, where you lay your head. So if you update it with the new address of your new house, but your driver's license still has your old one, there's no issue. That they don't have to match. That's in state code. If for some reason you did not update your voter registration, you need to go to your former polling site, the one that's on your ID from your old address, and vote provisionally. And then on that provisional ballot, the information that you fill out is used to update your voter registration so that the next time you do go to vote, you will be registered at your new address.
There were some issues on the provisional ballot throughout, not just in my precinct, but throughout. Some I was not aware. They didn't tell me directly. Some of them I did talk to people directly, some indirectly. Yes, ma'am.
Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. I just wanted to remind the court that we're getting a little bit outside the scope of this particular agenda item as it pertains to the particulars of voting sites and where you need to go. This agenda item is to approve on these polling places agreements. So I just want to bring it back to the topic at hand, Commissioner. And I'm sure at a later date you can post something for the commissioners.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez.
Sure, I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to talk with you about any issue. We do have provisional ballots are always. Just I'll make one last comment before she comes back up. Provisional ballots are always a kind of a hard situation. One, because they are relatively new. By relatively new, I mean 15 years, but it still takes a while for voters. It is a little bit different process, so sometimes voters are leery of doing that. Our poll workers, the laws change with provisional ballots pretty regularly, but I'm happy to, address any issue you have with those and make sure that, one, they're being handled at the polling site, and then any suggestions that you may have for improving a policy, I'd be happy to look at.
Well, thank you. I just want to make sure that we make things easier.
Sure, of course. That's our goal, to make that as well.
One quick question. At least as it pertains to these particular sites, do you or your staff do anything to work with the schools to ensure that the parking is accessible? Because there were a lot of sites this last go around where some schools opened up their visitor parking and allowed folks to there. Others forced folks to park across the street because they closed off their parking entirely, and I think that creates accessibility issues. Are you all looking at that to make sure that each school at least does something to ensure that they're accessible and because it's not going to be a large election. It shouldn't be
Their turnout's probably going to be on the low side.
Yeah.
So generally, we ask for 5 spots at an elementary school, and a lot of times we can get that. But depending on the day, sometimes that's the other part of using a school. A lot of people asked why we didn't have the runoff on a Tuesday for the last election, and that was because when it comes to the holiday season, they have a program basically every day or a holiday party, and they said there's just no parking, there's no room to use. We didn't anticipate for this December runoff, so we do ask elementary schools to give us 5. Some places can. Some places can't, we do have an issue with that. If there are schools that have 0, or if there's none that can reach just I guess what I would say a fully abled voter, we do ask at least that we keep some handicap spots open for those voters who can't. Now, if there were some that you saw that either they were closed off and not being used or full with parking, those would be 2 separate issues. But we do address it with every location. We always check what is the parking that's available. And with schools, we beg for 5, and we try and get as many.
But that's something you'll check up on as they open up the poll? Okay.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And as we move forward into vote centers, that's part of the methodology.
Okay, thank you.
Did I make a motion? Make a motion to approve. Second?
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3J, approve the rehire of county retiree Yolanda Enriquez effective January 1st, 2019 as a full-time regular court coordinator, G28, for Justice of the Peace Number 4 as required by Texas County and District Retirement System and County Policy.
Valeria Fernandez, Human Resources.
Thank you, Valeria. This is something, I typically pull out these types of items just to ask, when did this individual retire from El Paso County? And then,
I don't have the exact date with me, I'm sorry, Commissioner, but it was, I want to say 2008, if I'm not mistaken, but I can get that date for you.
okay, so the person's been out of the workforce from El Paso County for some time, at least.
They actually were rehired after that. They came in with the former Justice of the Peace for Precinct 4, and then she left employment with the county earlier this year. But we did verify that there was the break-in service as required under TCDRS, which requires a 1-month break-in service at least.
Okay, so the retired roughly around 2008 were hired previously. Do you know the time frame of when they were, and then they stopped working?
They had stopped working and then they were rehired in 2014, and then separated employment earlier this year, I would say in May.
Okay, so the person didn't vest a second time, I guess?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
And then they didn't retire this last time, no, sir. It was just that first retirement after their years of service.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No. Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3R. Approve and authorize the county judge to request a donation of surplus material from the Texas Department of Transportation as part of the local government assistance program that was established in 1997 under Transportation Code 201.706.
Thanks, Vernon.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Ferdinand on this with the County of El Paso Public Works Department.
Thanks. I pulled this. I don't recall seeing this item before. And I guess I was just curious as to how, I guess, the funds are allocated. How much have we received funding from this program before? And, how does that compare to, I guess, other counties? I know it's a relatively small amount, but that's why I guess I was curious. Do other counties typically receive larger sums? Is it dependent upon the particular district? Considering that I think one of the criteria was truck traffic, right, and which we have a significant amount.
Yes, sir. And basically, TxDOT has a formula that they calculate. Every permit that they fill out for oversized traffic or oversized vehicles, they calculate what the annual degradation of the roadways are. And so they provide this formula, and it turns out that this year we have allocated about $28,000.
Okay. And have we gotten funds in previous years?
We have received funds in the previous years. I believe the last one we received was 2 years ago, and we got additional. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was we did get additional wrap and milling materials at that time as well.
Okay. And perhaps this is something, if you can go back and perhaps just do a search to see what other counties are receiving. I mean, this might be something that we need to put on our legislative agenda if, there's any sort of discrepancy in funding. But I'm just curious, what the criteria is, how they allocate this funds. Because if it is a lot of it based on truck traffic and weight, it seems that, counties such as El Paso should be, benefiting from this. And maybe we are. I just don't know what the funding levels are for other counties. But
Yes, we can look into that for you.
Okay. Move to approve.
Good.
Commissioner Robbins.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This funding come from, you said TxDOT?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Are they funded through the MPO?
No, they are not. They're directly through the TxDOT. It's part of the state transportation code, and TxDOT is the sole holder of that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'd like to get with you later on and talk about some issues. Thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 9, county administration. Approve and adopt a county property parking policy. For this item, county administration would like to postpone for 1 week.
Judge, Commissioners, this is an issue. We are working on it. We've been going through some dialogue with the county attorney's office on the proper policy to address an issue that we have, and we want to make sure it addresses the issue universally. So we're going back and forth on dialogue on the policy. We would like to have it on for next week, so if you would please postpone it for 1 week.
Move to postpone 1 week.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, auditor. Approve and authorize to waive the requirement for the county judge's approval of purchase requisitions pursuant to Local Government Code Section 113.901.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Edward Dion, County Auditor. This is a statutory requirement that my office tries to keep up on whenever a newly elected county judge comes in. The County of El Paso has an electronic requisitioning system. The law provides that the Commissioner's Court, the county judge, can waive the requirement of the county judge to have to personally sign every requisition that's processed in the county by waiving it, the Commissioner's Court approving it. We've been doing this as far as I can remember since we've had a computer system. I did some research and found some other counties, the way they deal with this is that they incorporate it in their county purchasing policies and procedures under a requisition section, because the Commissioner's Court approves the purchasing policies and procedures. So if it was incorporated in that policy, this would become part of the normal process of doing business for the county. So, but at this point, we don't have it in our policy. So my office, we're bringing it forward so that we meet the statutory requirement, so that the county judge does not have to sign every single requisition from every department before they can actually purchase anything. So my recommendation would be for you to approve the county judge, if you all agree, waiving the judge's requirement to sign all requisitions, and further instruct purchasing agent to review and look into, with the county attorneys also review, whether they can just put it in the policy from now on, so that we won't have to come to the court with a separate item every time the county judge's position is.
Well, I'd like to hear from the commissioners that have been here, see if they're satisfied with that process.
I think, Betsy, correct us if we're wrong. I think we've been doing this for quite a while now.
Yes, sir. That's correct. And it's also a matter of efficiency. And we also have controls in place now between the court approving budget, and then auditor verifies that that budget's available before a requisition is issued. So I do believe we have proper controls in place. And for the efficiency of our purchasing system, I would ask that you all approve this.
Yeah, I was looking more just to, if you guys are satisfactory. Is it satisfactory? Have there been any discrepancies or anything that you're concerned about?
Not that we've seen.
Okay.
And I would just further clarify, these are for items that are expenditures less than $50,000 pursuant to statute, because otherwise they have to come to the Commissioner's Court through the purchasing agent for your approval.
So I move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 11, Judiciary and Corrections. With a correction from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Aliviana SAMHSA service agreement with Aliviana, Inc. and the DWI Drug Court Intervention and Treatment Program to provide counseling services to DWI program participants in the amount of $254,210 per year. This contract is effective beginning September 30th, 2018, for a one-year term with 4 additional one-year options. Funding is available in Substance Abuse and Mental Health Grant. Contract number 2018-0874.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners.
Morning.
Happy New Year to each and every one of you. You have a healthy one. Congratulations to you, County Judge, and our new Commissioner. On behalf of myself and Ms. Medina, who's the Project Director on this grant, we are requesting that the item be approved and that we have the signature on the contract so we can continue to provide these participants with the adequate service so we can start beginning the change in their behavior. I will tell you that's been effective since September 1. Aliviana has been very gracious in providing their services, even though they have not been paid. So we're just trying to expedite the matter as promptly as we can so we can continue to do the good work that this program has done for many individuals in our community afflicted with this illness.
Thank you. Just want to comment, Judge Anchondo, I've been at your court, and if anybody wants their heartstrings pulled a little bit and see some breakthroughs in the individuals that you serve, it's just, I was very impressed, and I want to thank you for not only that, the national recognition that your court has received throughout the years and the hard work that you've done to make this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. It's not me myself, it's a great team we have.
I got to meet them, and yes, they're an amazing team.
Question. Judge, it's a pleasure to see you, as always. This program at the county level, is it just associated with the one that we have at the city that you facilitate? Is it the same program?
That's correct.
You
Represent
still?
city council at that time.
Pardon?
We were at the city council at that time, and the city
Yes.
also recognized the efforts that we're doing.
Yes, sir.
It is one and the same.
One and the same. What source of funding do you receive?
Several grants, governor, in-kind, partnerships, community, all efforts. to
Well,
make
I
this
asked the
program
question I had asked previously. Are you receiving any funding through the COG for your program?
The COG being,
The Rio Grande Council of Government?
no.
You're not.
Our funding comes by way, like this funding grant comes from SAMHSA, gets sent directly here to the court. We receive also funding from the governor as well, through those grants as well. And the services that are provided here.
How many people are you facilitating?
We are getting close to 100 at any given time. You mean participants?
Yes.
That's correct. Best practices would say I'd not go over 125.
Will you have your staff get with me on that? I'd like to talk with you about some funding through the COG, if we can do it.
I'd appreciate it. Ms. Medina will make that appointment, and we will certainly sit with you and discuss that, Commissioner.
Okay. Move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
With that in mind, may I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Item number 12, litigation, justice, and law enforcement. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Office of the Governor Public Safety Office, CEO, law enforcement certification required by CEO and head of law enforcement agency to apply to the Criminal Justice Division and Homeland Security for grants until August 31st, 2021.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan Odortia, Commander of the Patrol Bureau of Sheriff's Office.
Good morning.
This is just a certification every 2 years that we're required to sign. The only changes on this document this year is that it's requiring the county judge's signature along with the agency head.
Commissioners, any discussion?
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Item number 13, Public Works, postponed from December 17, 2018. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign contract with Hewitt Zollers, Inc. for as-needed surveyor services, on-call surveyor contract. Funding is available in Special Revenue, Road and Bridge, Contract Services General, contract number 2018-0497.
Good morning. Once again, Fernie Hernandez with the Public Works Department. This item is being brought back to you again. We made sure and made sure that all the documents were included as part of the backup. I believe the missing cost breakdown that was missing was already included on this.
It was, and thank you for including it. It was what we voted on, the price. So hearing that, I make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14, purchasing. Approve and authorize the purchasing agent to close out bid 19006 Vista del Este Water Distribution System and resolicit.
Good morning. Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. For this, we'd like to request your authorization to reject all, close out, and issue a rebid. It's due to the fact that some vendor questions after the bid opened basically let the department know that there was an ambiguity in the specifications. By authorizing the closeout and the rebid, it allows the department to correct that ambiguity, and then it makes the pricing more comparable.
Motion to approve?
And how long will this add to the process?
We have the bid process fairly streamlined. I think we're probably looking at a March comeback to you.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
There's a Commissioner Robinson.
How many bidders?
We notified 103, and we had 6 respondents, and they were solid respondents. It's just the ambiguity in the specs made the department realize that perhaps the responses weren't based on the same information, and that poses a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 15, approve and authorize the purchase and installation of 3 HVAC units at the Fabens Airport hangar using Region 19 Contract RFP 187293, awarded to Train US Inc., doing business as Train, of El Paso, Texas, in the amount of $97,515.75. Purchasing approved on December 17, 2018. Funding is available in Capital Project, Fabens Airport Cap-Out Renovation.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. For this approval, we're wanting to use the cooperative. I do want you to note, because it was one of the things I noted, installation is about 3 times the price of the equipment itself. And that's because in this hangar, there is no existing HVAC system. And so a lot of the pre-work that needs to be done, like the ducting, the upgrade to the panels, and the electrical, is being included in this.
Commissioners.
And it's competitive. The units themselves are $8,000 a piece, but the installation is $25,000 for each.
For each
unit?
of those, yes. We requested information from the vendor, and if you look on the details of the quote, I believe there is a breakdown. But basically, they have to install not only the units themselves, but they have to prepare a duct system and create a duct system, the electrical installation to include some type of electrical panel upgrade. And I don't know if someone, oh, hello, Mr. Sully. I'll let him answer the specifics.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Robin Sully, Facility Director. The answer to your question, sir, is we're starting from, the contractors are basically starting from scratch. There is no system in place. They have to install ducts, they have to do demolition and work, and they have to lay concrete around the building because they're going to install these air conditioners on the ground. They're not going to be on the roof. They're going to be on.
But I'm sure you all have reviewed that to make sure that it's competitive and it's. And the funding for this, is this coming out of our CIP? What's the source of
This is coming out of Fabens Airport.
Is it the bond funds that we set aside?
This is the bond fund specifically for the airport.
Okay.
2016D, I believe. Gabby, is it 2016D?
I am looking that up, but I do believe it is.
So the use has to go towards the facility itself anyways,
Yes,
there's
sir.
nothing else.
We have an agreement or some kind of a relationship with UTIP. Is there any involvement in this type of situation as far as participating in,
Part of the agreement with UTEP required that the county do certain portions of the upgrade and that UTEP do certain portions of the upgrade to the hangar. UTEP has completed, I believe, all of their upgrades that were required. I'd have to pull up the agreement and double check on one aspect of it. This was not specifically named in the agreement that I recall. But this is something that is desperately needed. If you've been out to the hangar, especially during the heat of the summer or the like last week, there is no heating or cooling in the hangar area.
no, I agree. I was there and I was trying to look for some sun to come in so I could, warm up a little bit. So, but I just want to make sure that our agreement is fair, that, are they participating? Should they or shouldn't they not participate? So that was my question.
And I will tell you, UTEP has done some things beyond the requirement of the contract. Some of the upgrades that they've had to do, and I believe that the utility upgrades they had to do ended up being much more extensive than what we originally envisioned. I know Commissioner Robinson has a question, but I can get you an update on the agreement with UTEP.
Thank you,
and who has
Betsy.
had to do
Commissioner Robinson?
Yes. You said we don't have any HVAC at all? Never had?
No.
In the agreement that we have with UTEP, and this may apply to any other contracts that we may have, I would like to make sure that we explore all possibilities that may be available to us. In other words, if we're doing a contract, UTEP has done some work, the work we're going to be doing, could we not have done that work collectively? That's the question.
There's some work that UTEP has done out there, and we've done collectively. We meaning facility maintenance. We've done things like installing latrines. Restrooms. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the military time.
Army time.
Yeah, Army time. But we installed the restrooms out there and the utilities out there. And again, I don't have what UTEP has done, but we are working. They are merging with us. We're working on these projects together. And there's some things that we're responsible for doing, and some things they're responsible for doing.
Well, that's my point, is for make sure that we're collaborating on those projects, if we do them collectively together, whereby maybe we could save some money.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to excuse again. We are running away from the agenda item. This is on the purchasing item, and we're talking about the contract specifically between UTEP and the county, so that if there wants to be further discussion on that, that'll have to be a posted agenda item.
Okay.
Apologize for that. Just want to make sure we're back on track.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Further questions?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. But we will bring back an item to go over the court with a status update on the UTEP agreement for the Fabens hangars.
Thank
the
you,
Fabens
Betsy.
hangar.
Item number 16, approve and authorize the purchase of Microsoft Pro 6 tablets, 43 for Public Defender and 5 for Budget and Fiscal Policy Department, using the Department of Information Resources contract number DIR TSO 3373, awarded to Southern Computer Warehouse, Inc. of Marietta, Georgia, in the amount of $60,869.76. Purchasing approved on December 17, 2018. Funding is available in Capital Improvement Project 19 Public Defender Equipment Non-Cap and Capital Improvement Project 19 Budget Equipment Non-Cap.
Deborah Crejo, County Purchasing Agent. In this award, we're requesting use of the State of Texas Department of Information Resource Cooperative. This not only includes the purchase of the latest and greatest Surface Pro, so we will be taking in 48 of the newest model, but it also includes the 2 years the 2 year extended service plan and a 1 year manufacturer's warranty.
Approved. Second?
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 17, approve and authorize the purchase of support services for Hewlett-Packard equipment and software in MDR data centers and POD data center for the Information Technology Department using the Department of Information Resources contract number DIR TSO 4160 awarded to Hewlett-Packard State and Local Enterprises Services, Inc. of Roswell, California in the amount of $321,921.32. Purchasing approved on December 17, 2018. Funding is available in General Fund, ITD, Maintenance Repair, Hardware.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. For this award, we're also requesting use of the State of Texas Department of Information Resource Cooperative. This will be for the support maintenance for the current in-house equipment.
Commissioners?
Just a general question in regards to purchasing. I understand the process to DIR, but the question I have is, are we going with some contracts with best value as opposed to lowest bid?
Sir, cities can do best value. It's not written into county law for best value if you're talking about an award notification. Now, if you're talking about whether the DIR offers the best value, in many cases, we're dealing with the state of Texas, which has a buying volume of hundreds of thousands of items, whereas the county would go out for 58, 40, 2 or 3 things at a time. And the state of Texas actually has aggregate purchasing power that allows them to negotiate very good contracts with larger distributors and manufacturers like Hewlett-Packard, Dell. Not sure that I answered your question.
Not exactly.
I'll
get with you later.
Oh, okay.
And this is coming out of IT's budget for?
Yes, it looks like the maintenance hardware.
This is part of their normal maintenance budget.
Okay. Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 18, Budget and Finance. Approve Amendment Number 13 to the County of El Paso's 2018 through 2019 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $15,000, thus increasing the overall budget of $434,344,202.39 to $434,359,202.39.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Gabby Federal with the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. On this budget amendment, we only have one item, and that is to set up one of the grants. Do you all have any questions on this?
Second?
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Commissioners, Court will recess into executive session to discuss items 19A through 19C pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.072. Commissioners, Court will reconvene to take official action.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, January 21st, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on January 22nd, 2019.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. All county offices will be closed on Monday, January 21st, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on January 22nd, 2019.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Gotta make sure IT's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Commissioners Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 20, discuss and take appropriate action regarding Deputy Technology Officer CA OP 18665.
Good afternoon, County Judge, Commissioners. Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. The recommendation for the court for item 20 is to approve and authorize the county judge to sign a separation agreement and release of claims with the El Paso County Deputy Technology Officer as discussed in executive session.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 21, discuss and take appropriate action on the potential purchase, exchange, or lease of real property located in HD Camp Public School Land Survey, 405 San Elizario Grant, El Paso County, Texas.
There's no action on this item.
So this
Item
completes our
21,
agenda.
no action.
Completes our agenda, and we're adjourned. Thank you.
Concludes today's meeting at 11:55 a.m.